Hello, hello, humans. Good to see you all once again. It is your favorite color surfing DJ, Serjay Svek, and this is another episode of the Color Surfer Convos. And today we're going to be joined by my two friends from the Undertones. We have Myluz and Ren and I.
Hey man, thanks for having us.
Oh, yep. Thank you for having us and for inviting us as well.
That is a pleasure, and thank you too for being my very first guests here on the Color Surfer Convos. And I hope that we'll have a very, very interesting conversation as everyone will finally get to know who you all are, since you've been with me for a very, very long time. Okay, so
Very long time.
very long time, like you wouldn't
Yep.
believe. You know, a lot of people might be wondering like who these guys are, especially on Twitter, because I always like if you see my username, I always put like Serjay Svek
Yeah.
Undertones. Yeah.
You call us a lot. You call us out a lot. I mean, you always give us. You always mention us a lot.
That is,
For that.
you gotta support your boys. You know what I mean? You gotta show them some love. And but you know, people might be a bit more curious about how everything started since we go way, way back. Why don't you tell us like how we met? Let's start with Myluz.
Okay, I think everyone knows this story already. You can help me out, Sergey.
Okay.
You're better at the story. But I think we were in high school. Was it third year? Right?
First
In the
year.
same section.
Oh, in the
Sorry.
same first year, yes.
During our first day, we were having our cleaning day. As an orientation. I just wanted to. I just wanted to go look for the comfort room, and I saw this nice, neat, and upstanding looking guy. And I asked him, "Excuse me, in our own language, as in Hiligaynon, where's the comfort room? Where's the CR?" And he says, "It's down there, downstairs. Can't you see the sign?" Boomingly, and I was surprised with his accent. First time I've heard a very strong and very imposing accent, and I was it kind of made me scared. That's when I met him for the first time.
You were scared of me? Really?
I was just asking where it is, and the way you say it's like you hurt my feelings.
Oh no. I feel awful now, my goodness. But yes, but eventually we were able to turn it around. We became a lot closer, thanks to those gaming magazines I used to bring to school a lot. Remember those?
Yeah. PSM, was it?
Yeah, it was
Edition magazine.
PSM. Yeah, back then that was. I remember I borrowed it because they were talking about Soul Calibur 2 at the time,
Yeah.
or 3. Yeah, that you can tell how old we are now.
So I think they discontinued that PSM.
Oh, they did. Oh, that sucks.
No. I think. I don't know.
Okay. Oh, we think that sucks. All right. So thanks again. Thank you, Myluz, for that one. Now let's talk about you, Ren. How did you and I meet?
I think it was during the time that I believe it was around high school days as well. Me and Myluz. If I have to segue into me and Myluz first.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it-
You could start with that.
we met.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we met during elementary, and there were like about 4 sections of us, and then I was in a different section than him. Although I can see even from far away that Myluz is the type of person who you could approach. He's definitely taller than me, and I see him more of a gentle brother or the classic gentle giant type of thing.
We never became classmates, right?
We never actually became
Yeah.
classmates at all.
Yeah, we never.
That's how surprised we both were. But there was one thing.
Yeah,
Oh, go on.
yeah, go on. Go on. Yeah.
Okay. I think what caught my attention was that I was just standing outside of my classroom, just getting some fresh air, because classes is classes. Will always be classes for everyone. I believe that you and I think it's just you and somebody from afar, or just mainly you, Myluz. You approached me, and then the very first question and it's the very first thing that stuck into my mind even until today. It's like the very first question that you asked me that introduced both you and me is that, do you have a PlayStation 2? And then from there on, we just clicked, and then we we were talking a lot, and then during break time, we get a chance to have a conversation with each other
During those times, gaming was the only thing in my mind,
that
in our
connected
minds.
us. Yeah,
Yeah.
it connected us. Hey, hey, Ren Connect. And
Yeah.
so
Oh, the lore, the lore, the lore.
It's all full circle, baby.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Okay. But
So
yeah.
so so from there we were talking about games, and we were able to just visit each other's places, play games, and then as time goes by, we went into different high schools. And then when we were having some high school events together, I was able to see Myluz again, and that's when we were able to be introduced there, Serjay.
Yeah.
So it started with Mylus, and then we were all able to be connected with each other.
Well,
So
Sergey, where did we connect with Ren? Was it in my house?
Yeah, it was in your house. You
Yeah.
invited Ren to your house while we were playing games because we used to. Milus's house eventually became like our national hangout because he.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. It's our tambayan. It's a class tambayan for during our high school and during my high school and college days. Like tambayan because it's very close to our school.
Yes.
So it's a nice place to hang out. We have games. We watch movies.
then until college, I'd say.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true. We used to hang out at his house, or at least I used to hang out in his house almost every day during summer vacation when I would visit. And my mom and mother Svek eventually kept saying, Serjay, please stop doing that. You know, you might be bothering the family. It's like you're staying there every day.
Oh, she did say that. She did say that.
She was concerned, yes, because it
Ah,
felt
it's
like I was
fine.
imposing.
It was always open for friends. I've always opened. I mean, my family was they didn't mind. They kind of seemed happy when my friends.
Oh,
Then
that's
again, as a grown man looking back, I kind of feel bad for my family because maybe I was too complacent. Come in, it's my house. Su casa. Not even my house, but I don't even pay for it. Now I'm a big, now that I'm an adult, I know the woes of uninvited guests or on the spot guests.
Yes, I understand what you mean now.
But my family are, they're okay. They trust me and my friends,
That's good.
so they're fine with that.
That's good. Also, Ren, I think maybe we could talk about this, but there's actually like a hidden lore behind how you and I apparently met. So even before high school, if you recall,
this?
recall, you remember when we were kids, actually. So without spoiling like or giving away like, way too many details, our parents knew each other from way back when. And they were invited to events together, or they would whenever they would be like in a party or something like that. Apparently, you and I, Ren, we already knew each other from back then. I don't really remember those times, but I remember playing with some of the kids, and my parents said, "Oh, that's that Ren Connect is so and so's kid. I remember that. You used to play with him a lot back in the day." And then I was like, "Oh wow." This is like that kind of anime childhood friendship kind of thing.
Yeah, a brother and all. Our places are actually near to each other.
Surprisingly,
even-
yes. Mm.
Yeah.
Oh my.
It was really coincidental that we lived together until you had your big move to
Yeah. We only found out like not too long before I left that. Oh right, you were not very too far from my house.
yeah.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
It reminds me of the fact that there was a time that it was kind of late when we were going home back to our district,
Yeah.
and there was a time that there were no jeepneys or public jeepneys, and we were like, okay, let's stick together and walk or fast walk all our way back to a place where we could at least find whatever jeep is available.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we were riding a jeep going back to our district. Then after that, I think just to wrap things before you say anything is that we made it to like civilization where there are a lot of people, so we don't feel anxious and all. So the next thing you know is that I think there was one moment that caught my attention that I still won't forget is the fact that while we were riding the jeep, we were about to stop we were about to make our stop, but then as the jeep moved through, there was a barbecue place, so the smoke was in the way. So both of us, we were closing our eyes and smelling the barbecue there. I was like, "Yep,
Mm.
that's a brother," because we love food a lot. The smell was amazing. If you remember that time.
Oh yes, I do. Those are some very interesting times. We had a very interesting run in. Again, friends reuniting after so long, and then we've been closer ever since, especially in college, and eventually, and especially during the time of the COVID pandemic, when we were like spending a lot of time on call, on Discord and
Mm.
everything, and especially through our content creator journeys. And just so, in case people were not aware, Myluz over here is actually our VTuber single parent. For if
I didn't even know they called me a parent.
apparently, if we use the terminology, so
Yeah.
yeah, so Myluz is both our artist and our GIF rigger. I have another artist and modeler now, but I will always shout out the fact that Myluz took care of my original model, the one with the rainbow jacket. Also for Ren, as you can see here, he
Mhm.
is animating Ren's model as well. Pretty much, Myluz gave us like a VTuber starter pack, because he gave us a model, he gave us our transitions, our backgrounds, as you could see here. This was made by Myluz, movies and stuff. So Myluz, what inspired you to give us that support when Ren and I were starting out as VTubers and streamers?
Yeah. Of course, I see the passion in your eyes. I know it's sounding cliche, but during that time where everyone was a bit down, right? And I think you guys were trying new things, like me. During that time, I was trying new artworks. I was doing a lot of more artworks during the pandemic, and you guys, like you wanted to venture in YouTubing. I really appreciate that. I've always wanted you to be a DJ, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you're doing a podcast. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Also, Ren, he's been gaming his entire life. So why not translate that into showing everyone else what he's playing? I wanted to help wanted to help both of you. As an artist, I also have that kind of a perfectionist in me. I wanted you to be presentable when you become VTubers. So I wanted to make the graphics, your avatars. I even offered that myself sometimes because I just wanted you to look good when you debut. That's one of the inspirations to the why I did it.
Thank you, Myluz. Myluz is really a parent now, right, Ren? Wants to
Yep.
make us look
Right.
good. You are not gonna stream in that.
I'm a parent.
Dad, I just want to use a basic webcam. No, you're not.
You wear it. No, you wear
No, you're-
this, and you have that. They have that backdrop. You go there, and you have that purple background.
And
But
yeah.
yeah, in short, just I wanted to support you. Besides being my best friends, I take art seriously. I do the best I can to make it look cool in your transitions and everything. I offer suggestions and take your suggestions as well.
And we thank you for that. Your feedback is always greatly appreciated in us trying to do our work. So
Yeah.
thank you, Myluz,
You're
for
welcome.
making this a possibility and for bringing us to life.
You're already alive.
Yeah, but aliver as a VTuber, bro.
I always take it into account that it's evolving. So changes will always happen. It will keep progressing. The way you look, your graphics look. So
hmm
it's a never ending cycle. And whenever you need me, I'll always be happy to help.
Thank you for that. Okay, so that's for you, Ren.
Yes.
Since, like what Myluz says, you've been gaming for all your life, but what finally made you decide to take the plunge into streaming and VTubing in the first place?
At first, I was trying to. Well, it's kind of complicated because like the need for some company when you play games, it feels like you just want somebody to watch with you, or even
Mhm.
just somebody just be some kind of like a background noise. So when I started streaming a few times, I was so quiet. I was trying to find a topic or a way to talk while I'm playing at the same time. It's very hard. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone went through that. I agree, even you agree there, Milos. So I even saw one of my first vids of me trying to. Somebody requested me to do a level in Splatoon 2. That's a game that I usually play back then as well. I tried to say or try to try to do it properly and all. It was okay, but then I was like, this was me before. But as time goes by, I learned how to improve myself, and then I realized that hey, I wanted to entertain people or be somebody's background noise. So it's like as if though we're in the same room or the same place. You get to watch me play while you do your work, you do your projects, and if you need to converse with me, I'm here to have a nice chat because I love a good conversation. Small talk is really not for me because you could say my aura is more of like let's have a nice and deep conversation. And time goes by, yada yada yada. I met Serjay and Myluz. We met me, Myluz, and Serjay. We met again through Discord, especially during the pandemic. We were thinking, yeah, we've never been so lucky in our lives that we've been blessed with the internet that we're able to share and talk it out to help support each other, especially during these hard times. And eventually, I think that Sergey was able to start streaming, and it even inspired me to also start streaming a bit more. And here we are, talking like we're talking to people in the stream, and of course, talking to each other as well.
All right. So thank you very much for that, Ren. I greatly appreciate it. And it has been quite the journey for the past 4 years. You as well were 4 years. Yeah, we were both 4 years. We were both pandemic VTubers. I think a lot of
Yeah.
the VTubers are still on the scene right now had their start during in the middle of the pandemic because well we didn't have much else to do when we were stuck at home, so we might
Yeah.
as well have gotten to work on that.
It's already 4 years. Dang.
Yeah, it's been 4
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. So if I may add as well, Sergey, the other question about the VTuber part is that well, it started, of course, with of course the ever Kizuna I, and then we started watching other VTubers, and then eventually we were thinking of getting our own models. And in my case, I wanted to just get like a PNG model, something like I don't want to spend too much. In all honesty, I really want to support and buy those really high quality rigs and everything, but it's of course it's not cheap, and we don't want to cheap out on artists because we really appreciate artists' work and riggers' work. That's why even now I really respect artists like Mylus and the others because we know they work hard on it, and that's why I wanted to resort to just PNG models for the meantime until I can save up and maybe we could get to get an upgrade as people would call it. But overall, I'm happy with my model right now. I'm not sure when I'm going to have an upgrade. But still, I was inspired by a lot of people, even you too, my listener Jay. That's why I'm happy to be here as well.
And thank you for being part of this. I greatly appreciate both of you for sticking around because it's this is a very volatile field in the sense that we never know how long we can keep this up, especially with how things are getting more normalized now. We're returning back to our work, and some of us don't really have a lot of time to stream anymore or create content. So, and for those of us who are still choosing to keep this up, you're doing a great work. Keep it up. As long as you're still loving it, then very, very commendable. So thank you. It's warm, fuzzy feelings. Oh yeah, we've been streaming for 4 years. But what about you, Mylus? How long have you been doing art?
I've been streaming for 0 seconds.
Yes, but you've been our guest for a few
Uh,
times. Yeah.
yeah. I've been doing art for professionally 12 years and 15 years. Passion project artist. I separated them because there's always a difference with a professional and just your passion outputs where you're just working without instruction, you're just doing your own thing. There's a big difference, and most of that feeling I felt during the pandemic. That's why I know it's been a heck of a time for everyone else, but I think I'm one of those people who kind of translated it to something good as well, my artwork. So yeah, I've been working I'm actually okay sharing this. I've been working in a kids channel ever since I've stayed there. I do kiddie art, so that's why it kind of translated with my art for these two, kind of cartoony.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that was actually very distinct because I remember, if you recall, Myluz, I used to share some of the feedback that some other people in the field have shared. They say they find your art very, very distinct. It's very unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree,
because
agree.
I've built this up since I started in college. I know there were times back then people would tend to start working with an anime look or some other art style, prominent art style. But I don't know. Maybe I grew up with Cartoon Network and
Hmm.
Nickelodeon, I guess. So that's why I wanted to do. But besides those influences, I always had that principle or that idea that I want to make my own art style. I want to keep doing something. I want to keep drawing like this, and eventually it will just develop into their very own art style. By the way, if anyone's curious, art styles are very takes years to form. It doesn't appear when when you just start for the first 2 years. It becomes your unique identity over time when you keep drawing and you keep practicing. It just appears, subconsciously, and yeah, that's how it came to be.
And thank you for that, Mylus. Yes, it does take a very long time, and as Ren mentioned, we really do have to respect our artists. So that's why, everybody, please make sure that you pay your artists on time and in the correct amount, and no AI. That's our stance here in the Color Surfer Station. We don't do
Yeah,
AI
no,
here.
yeah, and no AI art. No.
No AI art. We rely on the talent and skill of our artists here. Yeah.
Yeah. If I may say something about that as
Yes,
well.
please.
I mean, if it's about AI, it's really like using a tool, if I may say.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
we're heading to
if
this one. Okay, let's go.
yeah, I think you heard about it. It's like
Yeah, yeah,
it's a tool that should be used properly.
yeah,
If
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's like a knife. A knife is a tool that can cut vegetables and cut ingredients, but used in the wrong way can be used to hurt somebody. So please be careful, everyone, when it comes to using both a knife and AI.
Yes.
Yeah. Good, it's good.
Very good
Yeah.
analogy. We also want to move this conversation in a way, especially since nowadays, Milos, we do recognize that technology is moving in this way, that they're trying to automate everything, even including creative processes like art, for example. So what drives you to continue creating art, in this current landscape?
This current age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's been my life. Not stopping anytime soon because there's automation and the general gist of AI. I'm not gonna say that I know deep enough the all the details about AI art, but I know that AI art generates artworks, images from data sets or from data from the internet. They take pieces of images from the entire internet and put them all together and generate it randomly into different images. That's how AI works. AI art works. So it still relies on the human hand. It relies on the passion, human
Mm-hmm.
passion. And I don't know what drives me. I guess is I love it. I love art. I love doing it. Even though I don't know even if there's that looming idea where I'm gonna be out of a job soon or whatever. I'm not planning to stop because I love doing it. It feels good when I'm doing the strokes. I'm doing colors. I'm doing shading. I'm solving little pieces of problems. It's like a puzzle. You're doing bits of problem solving when you're how to do this, how to do this kind of lighting, how to do shot. It's fun. The process is fun. That's what makes
Mm.
it. That's what AI art doesn't have. The fun of the process, even though it can create surreal, beautiful images that I think a human can't do, but it also can't do stuff. The human strokes, the human touch of it is not present. You can actually feel and see it. Look at the art.
Mm.
So that's one way. I guess that's an explanation of why I love doing it. The process is it gives me joy.
All right, thank you very much for that, Myluz. That was a beautiful explanation. And
Was
yes,
it?
yes,
Oh,
it is. It
thanks.
really is. Yes,
Hey.
right? The fun of being able to create your own work is really at the root of expressing yourself when it comes to art.
Maybe when you edit that part, you can add some floating violin music in the background, so it sounds more
Yeah.
heavenly.
So, say it again, Miles, about the fun about it, the fun about creating.
Fun
Yes,
about
the fun about
fun about
creating. Yeah,
creating is
yeah.
the fun about creating is the process. Human touch that is essential. What is essential is invisible to the eye. Oh wait, because the prince,
It became the little prince
in
all
the
of a
heart that
sudden.
one sees truly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. It's invisible to the eye of AI.
Oh,
What?
yes, perfect. I love it.
It's invisible to the AI.
Visible to the AI, smooth criminal.
What?
Anyway, but yes, thank you very much for that, Milus. And for you, Ren, in your case, it's a bit different because you're the content creator. Uh, Now that life is beginning to return to normal, quote unquote, how do you choose, or how do you continue to how and why do you continue to stream despite the fact that everything is getting busier again? We're going, not a lot of people have the time to carve out like before when they're forced to be at home.
So it's really a deep question, huh? Right?
We like going deep here.
Okay. I see what you mean. I stream because I feel like, well, it's in my name. I love to connect to people. I love to have a nice conversation and sometimes to experience moments in games like a nice a nice kill streak, a nice puzzle to solve or somehow enjoy sharing the experience is what I love when it comes to streaming. Because
Mhm.
every time I stream like a story-based game and I feel so attached to it, I feel like I really want to share it with people who gets to watch my stream. Even though not so many people watch it, I could at least say that it happened. And and it's in that moment that brings me joy. It's a double-edged sword if I have to say cuz
Mhm.
on one hand, it just increased my backlogs because I cannot just play the long story modes and then after that I cannot. I'll be streaming that until I finished it. So it is what it is. But at the same time, I still really want to share. That's why it's really conflicting. Like for example, the recent game I've been playing, Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. I could have finished it in maybe 3 days, like in any other game I did before, because I saw my record for playing the game, and with my level of probably puzzle solving and everything, it took me about 40 plus hours to finish the game 100%. So I could have done it all in 3 days, but then it took me about from the release date of September 26th until just yesterday. So maybe about 2 weeks. Because I've been always been busy with work. When you're trying to balance work and play, it's very difficult because sometimes when you're after work you arrived home and you figured like I really want to stream but I'm so tired and I need to take care of myself because if you don't take care of yourself you use money to buy medicine and then when you use medicine you don't have any more money and when there's no money you can't anymore play games and when your health is low because of the low money in games you can't play games. This is how much I think.
What's up, everyone?
Yes.
Hospital stream in the future. Then connect.
No. But yeah, it's really finding the balance and sometimes it's still sacrifice your sleep and all. But still, I really take pleasure in sharing the experience as best as I can. Of course, if the game cannot be streamed because it's depending on the genre or the fact that if it's from the PC, then unfortunately I'll have to experience the game by myself and all that. But overall, I believe I answered your question on why I still stream until now.
And
Can I add to that?
yes, go
Oh,
ahead, Miles.
sorry.
No, you go first. Yes.
Uh, I was gonna add that that trait of Ren has always been since we were kids. He always invites us in his home. He invites friends, and we love sharing those games with other friends. Isn't that nostalgic for everyone? And it's also a dream, still a dream for everyone. I think to return to those days that want to play games with your friends in person. I know we can play it online these days, but I don't know. Maybe we're oldies. I don't know for the younger
Oh.
generation here. I hope you've experienced that you played co-op with your friends in person. It's really different. The energy is different.
Yes, it really
So
is.
it's like when it's like the opposite of work from home. If you want to work from home, it's kind of feel better working from. But if you want to play with friends, it's better in person. And done.
Yeah, it really is a different experience. And also, again, Ren, thank you very much for sharing your reasons for streaming. And yes, how you said that you can't help but want to share your gameplay. I feel
Yeah.
so validated because I think you and I have this feeling now that ever since we became streamers, it's like we can't play a game on our own now because it's like this could be played on stream.
Yeah.
We could be playing this on stream. We could be and stuff like that. And so it causes this weird thing. Like you said, it could have been like 3 weeks for Echoes of Wisdom on
3
you.
days.
3 days,
3 days.
excuse me. But then it became 2 weeks. And
Yeah.
me, if I had to stream my other games, I probably could have done it in like maybe like a few days as well. But if we have to do reading, narrating, and everything, then yeah, it's gonna take a heck of a long time in comparison to do that. But you know what? It's it's fun, like you said, being able to share the experience with everybody. Sharing is caring.
Well, and to add that, it actually builds us. I actually built a strategy when it comes to streaming what needs to be streamed and not stream what needs to be streamed. Like for example, there are times in a story-based game that there's so much reading and dialogue that you're like,
Yeah.
I think this can be skipped. In other words, like for example, when I stream Tears of the Kingdom, Myluz was usually watching my stream, do everything optional that are not based on the story. I don't need to stream it. I can do it on my own time, and I was able to make a lot of progress and build my character up. So by the time I'm overly prepared for the main quest, I was thinking, wait a minute, why does it take one hit to kill them? I mean, you get the gist of it. It's like I stream only the main story parts, but the side stories, you could just put it upstream if you don't have the time economy for that. At least you find balance when you could just have the game all to yourself, and there are times where in the main story parts you could share the experience. So yes, it's really like I keep on saying, finding the right balance.
Can I expand on that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. On the same topic, I'm gonna dish this out to Serjay. Yeah, you mentioned Ren. You played that with Zelda, right?
Yeah.
That strategy. What about other games that are very unpredictable? Yeah, for Serjay, like Red Dead. Because I know there are random counters, and
Mm.
the random encounters are actually pretty cool. So I don't know. Do you feel that as well? That sometimes I could have streamed this, sayang, or sometimes there are scenes that you didn't expect that they're so good that you could have streamed this, but you've already played. You decided to continue playing it alone. So have you ever encountered that, Sergey? Or Ren, if you want to answer that?
We'll let Ren answer that first.
Well, it's like I said, double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're doing the
Yeah, I
side
understand.
quest, you missed some parts, and I'm like, I could have streamed this, but I'm like,
Yeah.
it can be helped. It kind of encourages other people to. Well, I guess this is like free advertisement for the publisher and for the producer, like Nintendo. It's like, I mean, that means you have to buy the game and experience it, have a different experience yourself as time goes by.
Or what we could do, as I could suggest, is that you could,
Mhm.
whenever you play your game, you always turn on OBS, and then you press the record button, so you can upload it to YouTube later on.
Yeah. So that's the strategy. Yeah, you have to record your entire game.
Right. So
that's
go
an
on.
investment. That's an investment.
I mean, we already have the resources to stream, so we might as well just record. At least that way we can have someone will be able to see the gameplay, and then you'll be like, "Oh yeah, did you know that I played this offline? If you want to if you want to see it, go ahead and check it out." That sort of thing.
Now that you mention it, yeah.
Yeah. I always say to everyone who is a VTuber and streamer that please have a YouTube channel to restore your VODs. Please. Okay? Don't rely on
backup.
Twitch because after a week it's going to be gone. So find a way to export your VODs, put it on YouTube or whatever video hosting site. So it'll be easier. So we'll be able to follow your journey. Myluz, going back to your question, yes, there were times like in Red Dead. That's why I stopped playing Red Dead offline, because I know there were like events that just happen out of nowhere. And it's not like in
Yeah.
Zelda where it's like, oh, I talk to this person, then a quest starts. Sometimes I
Yeah.
just run into a person on the road and then a quest starts, and I wasn't even planning to. That's why it's best to really have like your record button ready if you're not planning to stream.
It's like Skyrim. Sometimes you get random encounters, and now
Yeah.
I'm down this rabbit hole. Then and it's a chain of sub quests. Open world RPGs.
Yeah.
That is true.
Or there was a time that on stream, this was caught on stream though. I think Serjay got caught in Legend of when Serjay was playing Legend of Zelda. He got caught by a Lionel.
Ah, yes, I remember that. Those huge, monstrous things, and I was like, "Well, I wasn't prepared for this. Guess I'll die, or guess I'll just teleport like 2 seconds away." Thank you, Zelda.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something that I think we all need to be more mindful of. That sharing the experience is a lot better. And this episode was actually supposed to be recorded privately and then just uploaded on Spotify and YouTube. By the way, check out the pin message if you want to check out the podcast. Wink, wink. But I decided, you know what, we might as well have this one streamed, so at least people know of its existence and they can go ask questions and feedback from the hosts after we're done with podcast mode. Also, but what are some of your proudest achievements in your content creation journey? Let's start. Oh, Myluz has a reaction. You go first.
No. You could go, Ren. I've been going first for.
Oh yeah, Ren, you go first this time.
One of my biggest achievements.
Yep.
Well,
Or maybe the biggest, I guess. Or yeah, what do you consider the biggest?
I'm not sure though. I guess one of the biggest is being a host of a Splatoon tourney. Well, not
Ooh,
an
good
organizer,
one.
but hosting. Me and Serjay, we were hosting the incoming Splatoon online event, and then I was like, okay, I have my stream set, and I was given the assets. I was able to organize it, and and me being somebody who organized events like cosplay and gaming events in real life, I have an idea on what it means to entertain guests and entertain an audience, like avoid dead air, make sure that everyone is accounted for. And in the end, we were able to make it successful. I did also prepare it and make sure nothing gets, nothing terrible happens. That's why Serjay did the talking, I did the technical stuff. So it was a good teamwork. So it's not only just me, but I actually shared that glory with Serjay. And you know what? I'll even extend it to Myluz and say we use his assets, and he's part of the glory now.
Yes,
But
he
go on,
was.
Serjay.
Yes, he was actually.
Yeah, you guys were genuinely happy doing the when you were doing this commentating.
Yeah,
It's nice to see.
it was definitely something fun. I remember that stream, Ren, when we worked together on that one. And yes, for those who don't know, Ren and I bonded together, especially during when I used to play Splatoon a lot more frequently. And we are part of the larger Splatoon Philippines community. So there are meetups that are being held every once in a while where they play games together, and then their tournaments are streamed to a larger audience. And a couple of times Ren and I served as commentators on those live events. Thank you for sharing, Ren. What about for you, Myluz? What are some of your greatest what is your greatest achievement so far in your content creation journey?
I'm just gonna go back earlier. I'm gonna say this first. One of my greatest achievements are can you build up your personalities or your identities as VTubers. That's one, and I'm proud of you guys as well. So just mentioning that again. Remember I mentioned before that there's two sides to working art. There's a professional and there's the personal artwork. I'm going back to the pandemic, and there was a time where before the pandemic, when since I was a college student until 2020, I've always worked on artworks, but personal artworks, but they kind of span months, right? It's kind of long for one single artwork. they kind of span months because sometimes I don't have the I don't get the inspiration, or I don't know, I still didn't get my style. I was still kind of a frustrated artist. I'm still not. I always felt that I wasn't really good with my craft. I didn't get what I imagined in my head. But I had that time. I had that free time during the pandemic, and I think that was I had this little project called Small Concepts. I know you guys are familiar with this because I've been posting artworks around twice a month.
Mm.
So during that time, 2020 to 2023, or yeah, and last year, I kind of stand working on 40 artworks during that time. So it was, I think those 3 years are my most inspired moments. You can check my artworks there, and that's when I kind of realized that I can actually do it fast. I can actually do it more. I developed my skill. I improved myself. So kind of gave me confidence moving forward from where I am now. And I'm not doing them regularly these days because I've been busy with professional artworks. But yeah, I think that's one of my greatest moments or projects that I've done. It's called Small Concepts.
Small concepts, yes. Thank you. Yes, those were really amazing artworks. How you were able to create as many as those, and as of such high quality that I think we can talk about this, Myluz, that you were also recognized not only on the internet but in real life. I think we can talk about that, right?
Real life, I'm not sure if I'm that much recognized. It's just a few things here and there. Not really famous or anything.
Not necessarily
What do you
famous,
mean?
but at
What do you
least
mean
people
recognized?
recognized your work when it comes
Yeah, I
to.
guess the close family and all. Yeah, they kind of notice it on Facebook. I've been posting it everywhere. Posting it in
Hmm.
groups. I've been posting it in ArtStation, DeviantArt. I had my DeviantArt for a long time. Everywhere, I've been posting it. I made a Twitter just for the artwork.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember. I remember it took you a while for us to convince you to get to Twitter, but yes, when you finally did, we were able to get it, and you were also recognized and given awards for it, if I recall.
few awards. I guess I think the most prominent award body that we could take note for this is Grafica Manila. I wasn't invited as a speaker. I just kept sending my artworks for to be included in their art book. Their art book is something they give us souvenirs every year when they have their event. So how many times? 6 to 7 times, I guess, since
Six
2018 and until last year, I think.
6 or 7 times featured. Let's go. And also, Ren, for you, when it comes to
Yes.
your achievements, you've been around with the Splatoon competitive scene for a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ren is part of a prominent Philippine Splatoon team that has competed with, I think, mostly Southeast Asia, Oceania region, right, Ren?
Yep. Yeah, before, but lately I haven't been playing much competitively lately because I've been very busy and my other teammates are all busy. So, we're all
Mhm.
adults trying to get by with trying to get things done. But overall, we still want to play, or rather, we're just playing to have fun. I mean, that's the main gist of video games. We
Yeah.
just want to have fun, spend some time with everyone, and that's usually it.
But
Mhm.
yeah, I think you deserve the props. I'm not gonna it's not downplay your skill level, man. I think you're one of the best players in
Thank
the
you.
Splatoon Philippine community.
I should know when it comes to how you used to perform when I used to get hype, and then when I would commentate those spots. Those were amazing.
Yeah. I
Uh,
think I think it got recorded, the one of the soda. You remember that one?
which one is the soda? Sorry.
When I visited the Luzon region after quite some time, there was a tourney,
Mhm.
and then after that I was playing with the team that I got assigned to, and then I throw in the soda. He cheered for me, and then after that I got 3 splats. I got 3 people.
Oh yes, yes, I remember that. You got a triple kill with that. My goodness.
Yeah.
Oh
It
my.
was it was it was still good though.
That's true. But again, like you said, life sometimes gets in the way. Work gets in the way. We keep on trying, we keep on trucking. So, what is next for you in your content creator journey? Do you have anything planned? Are you looking forward to anything? That sort of thing. So, let's start with Ren. What's next for you?
In all honesty, I am mostly just trying to finish up my backlogs and just sharing my game and all. But aside from that, not in particular, more of like just continuing what I'm doing. But Although I am trying to find a breakthrough with trying to balance more of my work life balance, because things have been a bit difficult recently. I've been streaming erratically, but I've been trying to make something happen, like what the three of us have been discussing, one day at a time.
Mm-hmm. One day at a time, indeed.
Day at a time.
One day at a time. Yeah.
Okay.
What about for you, Myluz? What's next for you on your journey?
Right now, it's kind of what's the thing that you're referring to as the next thing is kind of happening. Right now, I'm actually focusing on my professional artwork. I'm also doing artwork for something big, I guess. I hopefully it's something big. It's a 3D kids show for YouTube, but it's under production, so I'm doing that. I think I'm proud of it as well. I think my target eventually is to get back to personal projects because I've been too busy with professional work and I've missed doing personal artworks. There's a big difference when you're doing your own thing. I think that's the next target, going back to it.
Very, very good point, and I hope you do get to those personal arts. Before we end this episode, I want to ask, since you've both been along your journey for a very long time now, or what would you like to say to those who are just starting out as content creators? What advice could you give them? So, Myluz, you go first.
I'm gonna say something, but it doesn't work for everyone. But in my point of view as an artist, if you're looking forward to creating more art, and first things first, you gotta love your art. You gotta be passionate about it. Cliche, but that's it. You have to love doing it, and always give time for personal work. You can actually build your repertoire, your skill level through everyday work. But when you're doing passion projects, you actually discover new things that you haven't done. You tend to experiment more. It gives you time to conceptualize or be creative, at your own pace. As at work, you have a deadline, you have a goal, you have instructions, you have to do this and that. If you happen to find work that is actually your passion as well, that's and good for you. That's actually amazing. But everyone else, it's usually two sides of it. So give yourself some time. Give your personal work some time. Promise, it will keep the fire burning for your art, for your love of it. I think that's my biggest advice for being artists.
Thank you for that, Myluz. And what about for you, Ren, as a streamer? What is your advice to those who are interested in starting?
It's more of like, from my perspective, every time I stream and all, I think the best guidance I could give is that when you stream and when you play a game with other and showing off yourself, you have to at least enjoy it, because what's the use of doing anything that you're doing if you don't enjoy it and you're just doing it as if though it feels like it's like a chore to do. If you don't feel like streaming, then don't push it. If you feel like streaming and sharing your experience, by all means, go for it. But of course, whichever works for you. And at the very least, prioritize and taking care of yourself first. And in terms of making yourself more, not only presentable, but keeping you aware that sometimes streaming is a very healthy thing to do, because it helps you express yourself, and other people would actually consider it therapy. So take it as it is. You have to find the balance, as I keep on saying.
Very, very good points. I appreciate you bringing that up, because it really is true that we have to find that balance and find the fun in it, because that's the only way that you could really enjoy what you do. It's not fun. If it's not fun, then why keep doing it?
Yeah.
Very good points, and I appreciate you saying that. And yeah, I think that's what we could do for now. Again, thank you once again, Ren and Myluz, for being my very first guests on the Color Surfer Convos. I appreciate you spending time with me and sharing your stories and your input. It really meant a lot that you were here to support. Any last words before we close out this episode?
I can say something.
All right, go on.
Don't forget, hydrate everyone. The most common thing you can say to everyone. Hydrate, take it easy. No need to rush everything. Get at your own pace and be good to others. Take care of yourself as well.
And for you, Ren?
A good thing to say. Oh, the best thing I could say right now is that always do your best, and no matter what, you guys always matter.
thank you both again for being part of the stream. And if you have not done so yet, I do have a Tellonym. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask me or my guests in the future, if you have any feedback, then go ahead and leave a question there anonymously. But make sure to include the hashtag AskSvek. And that's it for today's episode of the Color Surfer Convos. I hope that we brought a little more color to your day. Again, this is Serjay, along with Myluz and Ren, saying, you take care, always stay safe, and keep the world turning. Bye now!
Bye.
Bye.
Alam.